Hello, my name is Doron Markowitz and I am the proprietor of D Guitars Miami, located in the heart of North Miami Beach, Florida. I've been building and repairing guitars and stringed instruments since 1988. I have a fairly extensive clientele that comes to me with all sorts of issues that they need done in terms of repairs, and also some unique ideas that they'd like to see come to fruition in a custom build. Along with the traditional type of builds such as Les Paul style Telecaster or Stratocaster, I love building things that are unique. Here, for example, is one of my Finn models. This happened to be the second one that I built, which I built back in 2002. I had originally started the design of this back in 1997, and I actually built the first one in 2001. This one is cool because it's actually almost completely hollow. The top is a 1/2 inch thick, and it's fully contoured like a Strat. I borrowed the design, if you will, from the Ovation Breadwinner, as well as the Telecaster, with a deeper sweep and a larger hump at the top. I also love to inlay unusual materials, not just abalone and mother of pearl shells. And in this one I actually did seashells that I picked up at the beach. The body is constructed of poplar and red oak and a curly maple cross-cut in the center that I picked up at Home Depot. And it's got a great resonance to it. It's also quite light because, like I said, it's almost completely hollow. One of my other models that I also build is what I call the Golden Lion. This one happening to be number 4 that I built. I built this one as a dedication to my wife when she went into the hospital back in January of 2014 for back surgery. This one's also almost completely hollow. You'll notice the sound hole that I have here. This is kind of like my thing. I just love using this shape for the sound hole, and it's a through neck, set neck type of design where it's got a very long paddle extension. You can see that it's got a trio of mustache style pickups, as well as a repro of a vintage Tasco type trem, a Tasco roller bridge. The controls are from an old 50s K, Kluson locking tuners. And it's made from a really nice combination of woods. You have Purple Heart, oak, and then on the back it's reversed. You have the same oak and then Purple Heart in the middle. The neck is a 5-piece Bubinga with 2 pieces of red oak and then poplar on the outside. The fingerboard is Bubinga, and you'll notice it's got puppy dog type inlays, again dedicated to my wife. We both are huge animal lovers, and we love to rescue whenever we can. Another type of model that I also like to build often, which I've had some positive responses from, are my Red Special copies. Most people remark that my Red Specials tend to look a little bit different than Brian May's and the others that are out there, simply because I love mixing things up a lot. I especially love working with multiple pieces of wood and making, you know, sort of a picture within a picture. This one, you'll notice, has what looks to be a matching pickguard. This is actually a raised relief. I took my pickguard jig and screwed it to the top of the body and then routed it all down 1/8 of an inch, so that way this elevation would give the appearance of a pickguard. And it's made of multiple pieces of wood. The back of the body is Paduke with sapelli in the middle and a Purple Heart control cavity cover. The neck, it's actually it's a neck through body design, and the fingerboard is actually the back of the neck. I call this my striped pajamas model. This is my RS number 7. It's the 7th one that I've personally built for myself, and in keeping with the pajamas theme, I actually inlaid shirt buttons, and the pickups are mounted directly into the body, and then I have shirt buttons to give the illusion of them being screwed into the pickguard. You might also notice that this is at least the second one I've shown you with a Wonder Bar bridge. The Wonder Bar happens to be my favorite trem that's ever been made. And it's also got the same signature F-hole that I've done on my other guitars. And of course, being a luthier, I don't only just build guitars, I build basses as well, as evidenced by my 5-string fretless that I call the Beast. It's a neck through body design. It's got basically Purple Heart on the top and the back, with a walnut core for the wings. The central core is a 5-piece design. The neck is maple, fingerboard is maple, and the headstock has Paduke on the top with 1/4-inch cross-cut red oak on the back. This is a great base. It weighs about 8 pounds. You can also see that I have a nice Babinga control cavity cover. It's a very simple design. Music Man 5-string style humbucker in the middle, right in the sweet spot, volume and tone. And that's it. And then the bridge is actually red oak with purple heart for the saddle. And another model that I build is also called the Sweep, which I have only built one so far, which was for a custom order for a client, and he's located in Utah. And he was thrilled when he got his guitar. And you can see some pictures of him right here. Some other examples of builds that I do range from types such as this Archtop jazz box that I built back in 1998. This is what I call a true Archtop in the sense that the top and back are actually bent woods. They're not carved. I actually bent them on a form that I made. I took the spruce and the maple for the back and soaked them until they were completely malleable. Then I clamped them onto the form and put them in an oven on very low heat, about 150, to dry out very slowly over the course of a few hours. And then it took the form. Then I put the bracings and so forth. And it's got a couple of Schaller humbuckers. And you can see I've got these separated teardrop type F-holes that I came up with. This is a very cool guitar. It's very light too. And it's been through a number of modifications over the years. And it's also seen many hours of gig use and abuse. Some of my designs are a lot more whimsical, such as this neck-through-body Superman S guitar that I built back in 2006 to celebrate the release of Superman Returns. And in fact, on the control cavity covers, you can see that I've got actual ticket stubs from the movie. The bridge and the pickups I actually painted to match the body using brake caliper paint, so that way it's durable and it won't chip. And yes, this is another Washburn Wonder Bar. The entire back is painted in a royal blue, and then you can see on the top that I basically built up the red, yellow, and blue of the surface using color photocopies of Superman comics, basically telling his life story, and then filling in the remaining area with similarly matched paint color. Even the knobs have the Superman S on them. I also made a matching strap using a royal blue padded strap with a Superman S, cape, and breakaway chains. I mean, if you're going to do something that has a theme, you might as well go all the way. And it's neck-through-body mahogany. The wings are poplar to keep the weight down. It's very light, and you know, it's a 22 fret neck, really nice low action. This is a great guitar. People also happen to know that I love building cigar box guitars. I got into those a few years ago, and I try to push the boundaries of what can be done in terms of a cigar box guitar. Well, a couple years ago, the 50th anniversary of the Doctor Who TV show was coming on, and I decided I wanted to do something special, so I got me the biggest cigar box I could find, and I made a Doctor Who guitarist. And you can see that the whole thing is covered, decoupaged, in pictures of the history of Doctor Who from the earliest to the most recent. The body itself, I painted it in TARDIS blue. Even the control plate is TARDIS blue. I got one of those Tasco style trims, and I even modified the bar to look like a sonic screwdriver. It's got a roller bridge, and it's got Trisonic style pickups just like Brian May uses in his Red Special. Even on the headstock, it's got the faces of all 11 actors at the time that have played the Doctor. Since then, Peter Capaldi has joined the cast, as did John Hurt for the special movie. And this thing has a great resonance to it since it's practically completely hollow. It's a set neck design, and this was a very fun build. I've had numerous clients request some very unusual builds, including my most recent build, which is a double neck cigar box guitar that my friend Dagwood wanted built. He basically wanted a double neck bass and 6-string guitar. And what I did was I actually got an antique silverware box that I cut down about 1 inch down so that it would be about 2 inches thick. And then I dressed it up accordingly. I used an old record as a scratch plate that's glued on. It's got active electronics using GFS red actives. You could see the battery box right there. And I even dressed up the back with a no parking sign that I picked up at Home Depot. The sucker weighs 13 pounds, but you know, what do you expect? It's a double neck. And it plays amazing. I was actually really impressed with how this one came out. And I know when he picks it up, he's gonna love it. Then we have my Wacky Packster. This is yet another decoupaged cigar box guitar that I built, and this incorporates some of my favorite features. I love the unique shape of this La Flor Dominicana box that I used. I painted it this bright yellow and then covered it in Wacky Pack stickers all the way around. It's got a Jazzmaster trem, a clear acrylic height adjustable pickguard that I made, Wilkinson roller bridge, a hybrid pickup I cobbled together from the 2 good coils from a Duncan JB and a Gibson 500T, and an old 70s Greco humbucker that I wax potted and modified to 4-conductor lead. Both of them are wired to their own individual series parallel switch. Even the headstock is painted. And you know, here's my company info stuffs on the back of the headstock. It's very light, plays beautifully. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention at least my Millennium Falcon guitars that I built. I started building these a few years ago, and they've taken off like wildfire. This was the 10th one that I built. I have built now 6 Millennium Falcon guitars and 4 Millennium Falcon basses. The last one that I built was a 5-string bass for a client in Colorado that I shipped off a few weeks ago. This particular guitar is what I call my Mach 2 version, which has the neck set out a little bit farther for better upper fret reach. It's also got a whammy bar bridge, in this case another Washburn Wonder Bar in gold, and I even made the bar into a gun turret. I actually used the gun turret from a B-Wing fighter toy ship that I thought would look perfect. It's got a couple of 70s Univox humbuckers that I had my friend Peter Eastgrove rewind, because the bridge pickup had one dead coil, so I had him fix that and beef it up, and I had him rewire both of them for 4-conductor lead. Each one is wired to their own series parallel switch. You can see that at the headstock it's got a battle scene on there, as well as an X-Wing fighter at the 1st fret, LSR roller nut, locking tuners, only the best type of hardware. And again, if you're going to do something gimmicky, you might as well go all out, even with a Star Wars strap. Even the knobs are Jedi type knobs. And last but not least, sticking with the whimsical aspect, is what I call my Crap-o-matic 76. This is a toilet seat guitar that I built in October of 2014. Just on a whim. I saw online toilet seat guitars and I thought that's the craziest thing. So I was in Home Depot one day and I said, let me see if I can find a toilet seat that's not too expensive. And I found this one for under 20 bucks. I liked the color. It matched the color of my Fender Excelsior Pro amp. And I said, what the hell? And I slapped it together. Before I knew it, I had another friend ask me to build him a bass version in a nice gloss piano black. much I can build a guitar just out of almost any type of material if it looks feasible and if it can be reinforced properly. This is a fun guitar. It weighs 10 pounds, but it's really cool. It's got a couple humbuckers and a single coil in the middle, and it sounds amazing, and it actually plays really, really nice. And you can see that it's actually not too thick either. I love every time I get a client ordering a custom build from me, but through the course of the day, there's always a guitar on the workbench. For example, the latest guitar on my bench is a Music Man Luke that I'm working on. This poor guitar was actually a victim of a flood. It was stuck in a flooded basement, water in the case, the whole 9 yards. You can see that the frets are kind of green. The battery contacts are corroded. The jack needs to be replaced, which I'm going to be getting on in a moment. All the hardware is starting to corrode, so I have to do a lot of cleanup on this and then do a full setup. So I'm basically going to be doing almost a full-on restoration to get this back up and running. The strings are all crusty. I'm glad my Technoshot is up to date. And I'm going to be doing a full setup with Diodario 9s, replacing the jack, cleaning the battery contacts, replacing the battery, checking and cleaning all the electronics to make sure that nothing has been compromised. And this is actually one of my more tame type of repairs. Oftentimes I end up dealing with really tragic headstock breaks, such as this Gibson SG that had the headstock completely broken off. Basically, I have to take the fingerboard off, remove the truss rod so I can then graft in a new piece of wood at the head area and cut a new headstock, then put the truss rod back in and put the fingerboard back on. Okay, so this is D Guitars Miami. This is what I do. I have a huge passion for guitars. So, okay, if you'd like to get a custom guitar built, or if you have a head case of an instrument that needs serious restoration work, don't hesitate to give me a call at 305-896-1811. Also, you can find me online at dguitarsmiami.vpweb.com and check us out on Facebook. You can find D Guitars Miami on Facebook as well. Alright, have a great day all.